welcome to the shed. So the shed is actually off limits for students because there's lots of tools in here and danger and nails and who knows what. So please do not actually come in here by yourself, but if you are with a teacher, you can say, Miss so-and-so, Mr. So-and-so, we're wondering if we could see Miss Adrian's bug collection. It's in this shed. She said it's okay as long as you're with the teacher. I'm saying it now. Yeah, totally. You can come look at it as long as you're with the teacher, and the teacher can take the item or you can see my bugs. They can take them out, and then as long as they put them back, totally happy with me. So first thing I'm going to show you is this. Oh, this is a wasp nest. Look how incredible. Kind of like that honeycomb shape like bees. And it's got leaves built into it. So cool. So this wasp nest was in the garden. There's the tree that we call the climbing tree, or some people call it the tree fort. It's the one where you can climb just 2 branches up. Hear me? This one shut down that climbing tree for months. Kids are like, why can't we go on the climbing tree? Why can't we? I was like, there's a wasp nest. And I was really scared to deal with it because I didn't want to kill the wasps because they're fantastic pollinators. But I also didn't want to try and move the nest, so I didn't do anything. And then eventually they all left or they all died, so it worked out in our favor. And now we have a really cool wasp nest. And no wasps that I didn't harm any wasps in that. This is my favorite thing. I love, love, love insects. And this is my shadow box full of insects. We can go through a really quick tour here. This little bulby thing up here is a praying mantis egg sac. So a praying mantis female will mate with the male, bite his head off, eat the head, leave the headless male, and then will create this egg sac. Not exactly sure what they create it out of, but then they lay their babies' eggs in there and the babies just explode out of here. It's incredible. This is a Jerusalem beetle, also called a potato bug. Creepiest things ever. I do actually not like them, but really cool. This is a cockroach of some sort. I actually found this while I was camping. Actually, my husband found it in a urinal, and we aptly named it Yuri. Then we've got a bunch of, these are all bumblebees. Then over here we've got a couple of flies, a stink bug, and then down here, super cool. These 3 are the exoskeletons of this guy. A cicada. Now, a cicada is a kind of flying bug that lives underground for like something crazy like 17 years. It lives underground. And it's like, you know, from the egg stage to the little larva, and then it pupates, turns into this creepy looking thing. We love it. Crawls out of the ground after 17 years. It's like, I'm an adult. And it crawls up the trees, latches its body onto the tree, and then like peels itself out of its exoskeleton looking like that. And these are just stuck on the trees. Coolest thing ever. I found these in North Carolina. They tend to live in South Carolina. I found them in South Carolina. They tend to live in warm, wet, like tropical kind of climates. Then we've got, these are the silk moths with their these little white things are their little cocoons. Now Miss Carol, I don't know, most years she does silk moths where she raises them from little larvae. So cute. And then one year she was like, Miss Adrian, do you want them? And I was like, yes I do. And they had their little cool cocoons and little silk moth. This is like a damselfly. This is a dragonfly. That's a cricket right there. And then there's a bunch of little beetles in here. The darkling beetles, I don't know what that is. We'll get back to that stripy one in just a second. And then a bunch of moths. These are some little cocoons. See, I don't know what they're from. They're underground. I find them in the soil, and the little tops of them go like this. But I don't know what they're from, which is unfortunate. I'll find it out. And then these are painted lady. Oh, that's a monarch wing, and that's a painted lady. Now this guy's my second, tied for my first favorite bug of all. My firsts are praying mantises and 10-striped June beetles. We get 10-striped June beetles at school, usually not in June, usually in like July or August, and they are just the coolest. They've got stripes on their back. They are just so cute. They're so cute. And you pick them up and they kind of like hold your finger. They're like, never let me go. And then you kind of say, well, I love you, but you're a bug. You've got to go. Or hang out with me for a while. So one time I actually found one and I held it and it would not let my finger go. So I finally got it off and I stuck it right here and it just hung out with me for like 2 hours, an hour. It was a really, really long time. Just stuck there until finally it just went, I'm done with you, and flew off. It was like the best moment of my life. Not when it flew off, when it was there. And the funniest thing about them is that they kind of like try and be like, hey, I'm all big and tough, and they squeak at you. But it's like a hissy squeak, and like, wee, wee, wee. Like, oh yeah, you're big and scary, look out. Look out, you're big and scary, you're gonna get me. And they're just so cute when they do it, and you feel for them because they're trying to be aggressive, but it's not working because they're just too cute. So that's my bug collection. We love them. Again, a lot of people are scared of bugs or insects, but honestly, they're the coolest, the absolute coolest, because they come in all these weird shapes and forms, and they all have different jobs, and they're just fascinating. So, to wrap this all up, if you're ever in the garden and you want to come check these two out, by all means, ask your teacher and the teacher can come grab them and show you. I'm going to ask that students don't touch the wasp nest just so it doesn't break, and then that we just keep that all closed. If you want to touch any of the specimens in the jars or the antlers or the rocks outside, go for it. We're only going to leave that one dehydrated rat alone because it's pretty fragile and it might break. But there's so much to learn from these dead critters, and I mean, when's the last time you got to see these things like up close for a long period of time? It's really cool. A lot of people say it's kind of weird that you collect dead things, but in seeing them up close, we get to learn so much about them. So I hope you enjoyed, and I hope that if you are able to come to the garden, you know, anytime during the day, that you take a peek and really see these things up close. It's super fascinating stuff. All right, until next time. You guys aren't even gonna believe it. I just received probably the best gift anyone has ever given me. Okay, so I thought this was big. This is a paper wasp nest, right? Thought this was big. Look what Miss Chloe from room 7 just gave me. Are you kidding me? Look at that! It's like his baby! I don't even have words! I'm so excited! It's absolutely massive. She said she found it at the eucalyptus that's right outside the front gate of the garden. So it must have been after windy days that she said, and it fell. And then I bet you the wasps just left. But wow, these are the kinds of gifts this teacher likes. Thank you. Before I let you go, I actually had one more thought. If you ever have found bugs or small dead animals and you want to add them to the collection, you of course can. You either need your teachers or your parents' permission to bring them in, and please bring them in like a little jar or a Ziploc bag. If you find it on a weekend or something and you can't really let that critter or that bug, actually just the critter, like decompose, you can always pop it in a clean jar filled with, again, rubbing alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, either 97 or 99%, and pretty much anything, like I would say a finch is the biggest I would put in something like that. So no squirrels, no rats. You could do like little mice or, you know, little things if you ever found it and you wanted to contribute. And of course, I'm super happy to take insects. You know, I've got a lot of bees, but You know, always happy if you find something super weird or super cool, or butterfly wings. You can always just bring them in a little baggie. All right, thanks.